A philandering congressman father. A deranged cult-obsessed mother. A vicious and jealous twin sister. A family of 4, 3 brutally killed overnight. What happened to them? This video will guide you through the story of the latest Taiwanese horror game, Suffocate, a tale of greed, anger, and ignorance. Tanya wakes up in a mental hospital as the only survivor of the Lin family tragedy. She lost her father, mother, and younger sister overnight. Suffering from PTSD, her lost family members remain with her in a different way. Every time she flips through her diary, her shattered mind drives her back to the secrets her family had hidden. Tanya's upbringing was tightly bound by her mother's controlling nature. From the time she could remember, her mother constantly belittled her. She wanted to study art, but her mother tore up her application form, insisting it was futureless. She achieved better grades, but her mother denied her progress, insisting she wasn't trying hard enough. The manga books she saved up to buy were found and taken away, with her mother dismissing them as things that will hold her back. What hurt her even more was her mother's double standard toward her twin sister Hannah. Her mother was indulgent to the core. She had to give up her favorite toys to Hannah with the excuse of, "Be nice to your younger sister." Hannah could make all kinds of demands, and her mother would always fulfill them. Even when Hannah stole money and framed her for it, her mother would believe Hannah without question. As for her twin sister Hannah, she had been two-faced since childhood. With their mother's preference, she grew increasingly arrogant and constantly competed with Tanya for everything. Seeing her sister in pain seemed to be the source of her own power. Through manipulation and false accusations, Hannah drove their mother and Tanya further apart. But her mother wasn't always this way. When she was young, her mother worked as a bank clerk. They met when her father came to the bank for business. At that time, he had just dove into politics right after graduation. Under his fierce pursuit, they soon got married. As her father's political career advanced, however, he became increasingly obsessed with money and power, growing distant from his family. The turning point came when their older brother was born. Her mother suffered serious complications during childbirth, yet her father was away campaigning for election instead of being by her side. Tragically, the baby didn't survive. This devastating loss, combined with her father's absence during her most vulnerable moment, created an insurmountable rift between them. It was during this dark period that her mother, broken and seeking solace, became infatuated with a place called Lianhua Temple, a fraudulent cult masquerading as a religious organization. The head of the Lianhua Temple, whom her mother trusts and calls Shifu, is a con artist who manipulates vulnerable followers through false promises of spiritual protection and blessings. The cult operates through systematic exploitation. Women are coerced into sexual acts with the Shifu and other male members under the guise of dual cultivation, offering not only their money but their bodies to show piety. Men endure physical abuse falsely presented as purification of sins. Despite the obvious manipulation, Tanya's mother became deeply entangled in the cult, treating it as her only source of hope and meaning. The cult's influence hit its most disturbing point when the Shifu targeted the mother's grief. He convinced her he could help her deceased son be reborn through a special ritual. Following his twisted instructions, she preserved the infant's remains as an infant eidolon. Over the years, Tanya's mother poured a big amount of money into donations, believing this money would buy her special favor and blessings. But this devout obsession brought her nothing but her husband's disgust, driving them further apart. The political career of Tanya's father wasn't as glamorous as it appeared on the surface. As his political career advanced, he became increasingly obsessed with power and money. While publicly championing serving the people's welfare, he secretly abused his authority for personal gain. After hiring an assistant, he began an affair, using working overtime as a pretext for his nights away. His family, meanwhile, was left with only his absence and their growing suspicion.
哇，这房间也太像汽车旅馆了吧！真是佩服你的性癖。
In her suffocating life, Tanya's only emotional anchor was her boyfriend. Strangely enough, their fathers were old friends, yet her family vehemently opposed their relationship. Her father's excuse was that the boyfriend's family had ties to gangs. In reality, however, her father had used his political power to extort money from the boyfriend's family, then failed to deliver on his promises. This betrayal became the direct catalyst for the Lin family massacre.
你仔细听我说，我爸疯了。
什么？
他要我妈娘家的黑道杀你全家。
啊？到底发生什么事？
他跟阿比有金钱上的纠纷，我也不太清楚，他很严重的样子。你赶快准备好，我去载你。
不是，你有没有确认清楚啊？太扯了吧！
你要相信我，我刚刚听到的。你快点走。
我，
反正你在家也很痛苦，你就偷偷溜出来。我快到了。别再犹豫了，我怕失去你。我们之后一起生活，就我和你。你知道我很爱你，我不希望你死，你要相信我。
好，等我。
Notably, the game has 3 endings, determined by the reason Tanya chooses before she leaves the house. If the player selects I hate my sister, Tanya's final fate will be completely different.
喂，
雨桐，你仔细听我说，我爸疯了。
什么？
他要我妈娘家的黑道杀你全家。
啊？到底发生什么事？
你知道我很爱你，我不希望你死，你要相信我。
好，等我。